Well, look what we got here. As you can tell, we are now in one of the rooms in the new area of the haunted house. Very exciting. Can't wait to really dig into this. It's super exciting to be in this room right now because we are standing in what used to be the kitchen inside the Cabin of Carnage, the OG area from 2014. It was actually one of the first areas that I even acted in personally. It's an area that I grew in, and at the end of the day, you know, we have to change areas. We get surveys all the time, even though it's 15% of the people that come through. We definitely take a look at every single aspect. We take a look at every comment. And with it being the 30th year, you know, we gotta go above and beyond. And with this area alone, and with it only being March, we have already done things in this area that we have never done yet. We have added layers that we've never done before. We're already over budget and we just can't wait to do more, but it all comes from you guys, and we really appreciate you taking the time at the end of the haunt to give us the information because, like I said, we go through it and now we get this one-of-a-kind area and we can't wait to show you, so let's go check it out. And with the biggest part of this new area is obviously the footprint. We didn't just change one room, we didn't change 2 rooms, and we didn't change 3 rooms, we changed an entire area. We added way more elevation. We even tied in old existing areas such as the tool coop right here, obviously updated and all, but we added this to the layout of the new area itself, and it's just so exciting. Let's show you some more. Just like that, we're in a brand new spot. But the best part about this isn't even part of the new area. This wasn't even part of the original plan. Where we're standing right now, if you've been to the Dungeon of Doom, probably for who knows how long it's been here, there used to be a bridge right here that led to the tool coop. And as we were going through the haunted house, we realized that there are a lot of transition areas that kind of, you know, doesn't define the story the way we want to portray it. So once again, with it being the 30th, we can't stop there. We're developing brand new scenes all over the place with this giant square footage of room that is going to be very in-depth into the Quimby slaughterhouse that has been here also since day one, and we just can't wait for you guys to see what is going to be in here, including the biggest prop that we have bought to date. So this is going to be a cool one right here.
So it's a little early for me to get started on my lighting inside this new area here, but we are already doing some tests, just playing around with the textures. So lighting is really important, as if Blake and Tony are in here for 6 months, spending all this time building beautiful sets, detailing them, lighting can either make or break that. So they could do a beautiful job, for example, putting like red paint up or browns and all that. If I light it with a red light, it's gonna completely wash that out. So for detail, we're kind of experimenting with different colored lights, with orange, with just kind of a light candlelight flicker, and even strobe lights. So this allows me to just kind of get an idea playing with this unique texture. It's not too often you get a very reflective surface inside a haunted house to play with. So we're gonna kind of experiment with this texture, see how we can play around with the lighting to direct your eyes where we want to direct them to, and also keep areas dark that maybe we just might have an actor or 2 behind there. So we're in the initial stages of planning lighting. We do have Transworld Halloween show coming up this weekend, so it's important for me to know what I need to get at that show, do some research, play around with some products at the show. Then we'll purchase whatever is best for this area, and we'll begin install in probably about 2 to 3 months, where I'm gonna begin permanently installing lighting fixtures. One of the things that I said for this area, like Blake and Tony said, we need to do the absolute best we've ever done before. I'm challenging myself as well. So a lot of haunted houses are gonna look very multicolor. There's gonna be blues, red, greens, pinks, purples in one room. It's very theatrical, which is really cool. But with this environment, it wouldn't really fit. It wouldn't make sense. So we're gonna work on creating an environment that feels natural and realistic, like a lot of real lighting fixtures, not just little LEDs hidden in the corner. And everything is going to be DMX controlled in here. So what DMX control allows me to do is, well, just about anything I can come up with. I can control the color, the brightness, and the lighting effect like flicker or strobe. And all of that can be triggered into one huge environment. So that's really exciting that we're really pushing ourselves to do everything in this new area better than we've ever done before. So one of the other evolutions that we're working on for our 30th year is audio. Audio, if done right, you won't even notice it. It'll become a subconscious thing. If it's done wrong, it's gonna kind of take you out of the environment. And what we used to do, since the 90s, is get one big boy speaker like this, put it up in the ceiling and try to blast it over one area. That can get muddy and it can kind of mix with other areas of the haunt that we don't want mixing together. You also get really, really loud hot spots, and then as you get further away from the speaker or around different corners, it's gonna get a little too quiet. So this year for our 30th, to continue evolving, we are gonna do a full surround sound system in each and every room. So instead of just one big speaker blasting out, we're gonna do probably about a 7.1 surround sound system, which means 7 speakers, and the 0.1 is 1 subwoofer. That way we get really, really crisp audio that then we can integrate with the DMX lighting that I mentioned earlier. And we can also go a step further and integrate that with our animatronics. So when the animatronics activate, all of the lighting will change, and I can also have the audio change with that in a full surround sound environment. So it's gonna be tricky, it's gonna take a lot of effort, and like Blake said, we're already over budget, but we're doing it for you guys.
When doing a massive build at a haunted house, it can be very overwhelming. You might say that we have 12 months to do it, but in reality, we really only have about 8 to 9 months to do it. And those are long 9 months. At the end of the day, you are doing constant amount of building, constant amount of painting, and you also have to think on the outsides of that. You gotta think safety, you gotta think wiring, you gotta think all of the ins and outs. You can create a layout and put up a couple walls and call it an area, but we don't do that here at the Dungeon of Doom. One thing that we really try to push is whenever we come up with a good idea, we want great ideas. We always come up with plans in the off season, and one of the things that we do is if we come up with an idea, we try to think what's better than that idea. And once we figure that out, we go into the next step. What's even better than that idea until there is no better idea, and we put that into perspective. The biggest thing is just, it's fun across the board. We show up to work every day and we're constantly adding new things. Plans are changing in the best ways possible. I mean, it's March and we already got the first layer of paint on some of the metal, and it's just every day is just amazing. And as much as it's only March, I really can't wait to opening night when you guys get to experience what we have been creating for the past 3 months already. So with the original footprint of the Cabinet of Carnage, you originally start outside and you go inside the house. We still want to have the same vibes with that, but we wanted to add on to that. So not only are you outside going inside, but you actually venture back outside, go into a completely different building, leave that building, go back outside again, and then you're back into the warehouse with some other surprises as well. If you've been to the Dungeon of Doom, especially on those busy nights or any haunted house, you know that conga lines happen. Groups batch up with each other and it's almost impossible to stop, but we do have solutions for that. This area is designed not only for the 30th year and for the actors, but it's also designed for you guys to have complete flow through this area, that when you walk through, you will notice every single aspect of it is one of a kind compared to everything we've ever done. And honestly, we are taking a big step into production and a huge step into the future of the Dungeon of Doom, and this is just the beginning.